Every year, the Steam Summer Sale has a massive impact on the gaming market. Many of the best prices for the year are set here. Many aftermarket discount key websites will restock around this time as well, like Kinguin, GameEvo, CD Keys, etc. And with the amount of games that go on sale, I would like to make sure you at least hear about some of the sci-fi games that I own or recommend and I think meet the channel criteria. Maybe a few that are popular that I've been watching, for example. So, let's get started with 20 games, all of which are playable on the Steam Deck, and said games will be listed in alphabetical order. Pricing is based on the Steam Summer Sale discounts available, so if you miss the sale, no worries, this is a good indicator on a future deal. Up first, it is no secret that Dune Spice Wars is a great casual AoE type experience. I have a couple of videos covering this game on the channel to include gameplay previews and esports speculation. Be sure to check those out if you are a fan of 4X real-time sci-fi builders. It is very casual to play, easy to learn, and has a clean aesthetic. It is currently on sale for 20% off at $24 until July 7th, and I recommend a wireless mouse and keyboard if you're planning to play this game on the Steam Deck when you're in the garage or on break. It is not listed as playable on the store, but I have it and it loaded fine. Continuing with the D's, Dyson Sphere Program is an absolutely fantastic title that I have sunk a crazy amount of hours into. You can cover an entire planet from pole to pole in automation. 20% off at $16 during this sale, this game has a near infinite amount of building. And I had to tap about a half a dozen top-tier resource planets and create one Coruscant equivalent for me to reach the limit of acceptable frame rates. Marked currently as playable on the Steam Deck, I think that if you are a fan of Satisfactory, Factorio, Oxygen Not Occluded, and the like, Dyson Sphere Program has a lot to offer. Oh, and it has some great mods, some of which expand the procedurally generated galaxy size. I highly recommend this title. I have not played it in a while really, it is still receiving updates though. I should probably give it another go. Before you judge me on the next game, I want you to know that I received this game for free last year sometime. I am a huge Fallout fan, but I am so glad I waited to play Fallout 76. It was a pretty solid experience when I hopped in, and for 75% off at $10 if you can catch it on this sale, there really is a lot of story that you can get into, to include base building. I actually did a video on the limits and industrial aspects of the bases that you can build in Fallout 76, so be sure to check that out sometime if you want to see my little road convenience stores. I ran a pretty successful store in the public servers. I even compared the base and trade mechanics to other games in the industry. I hope we see base building, NPC trade economies, and crafting pushed to a new level in Starfield, but only time will tell. In Fallout 76 though, presently, you do not have to buy any of the Atomic Shop stuff to have a good time. I mostly played solo, but I have pretty much gone completionist, so my biggest problem is where to put my excess caps. Again, $10 US is pretty low, and we won't see anything from Bethesda or Microsoft like Fallout until at least 2023. Alright, so this next title is a little interesting. If you watched the previous video uploaded just before this one, you know already that I utterly destroyed yet another Satisfactory save file recently. And yes, I do still recommend that game, we'll get to that later. However, this next game, Hunt Down, is published by Coffee Stain, the same company. It is a 2D Metroidvania looking shoot 'em up that I would usually not take a look at. Okay, so no, it is not an industry game, but it has an industrial sci-fi vibe. A publisher who literally built one of the best factory builders ever, and I'd like to support other titles from this publisher because I am trying new things. Really, I just want to check out the other games Coffee Stain has their fingers into, since I really loved Satisfactory and put a lot of time into it. 66% off at $6.79 US for a Steam Deck verified 80s cyberpunk game from a developer I trust? Easy purchase. Oh, honorable mention, there is another game Coffee Stain is publishing called Midnight Ghost Hunt. 30% off at $14 US right now. It looks spooky, and apparently one of the characters is the Satisfactory avatar. Please tell me I am not the only one who missed this. Not sure if this last one runs on the Steam Deck though. Let me know if you've tried Hunt Down or Midnight Ghost Hunt. These next two titles can be bundled together. This is definitely not everyone's cup of tea or won't be. But one thing I can say about the Steam Deck is that it has me experimenting with games and discovering them organically again. kind of like back in the day when I rented Hexen from Blockbuster. These next two titles are named Kaplurth and Necess. If you have ever played RimWorld, FTL, or maybe Songs of Six, these games look like they have their own spin on the aesthetic and gameplay UI. You can pick up Kaplurth for 25% off at $11.24 US and Necess for 33% off at $6.69 US. Both have co-op, and I bought them both to verify whether or not they work on the Steam Deck. Next up, coming in at 50% off and $30 US. If you have not yet tried No Man's Sky, why are you depriving yourself? Seriously, there are so many excellent independent documentaries out there telling the community how No Man's Sky has repeatedly delivered free patches since launch that are the equivalent of a WoW or Elder Scrolls update. I'm not here to tell you I approve of the launch or even get into that. What I can tell you is that you will be hard-pressed to find a legit key for No Man's Sky for much less than the current Steam summer sale. No Man's Sky is essentially a space sim light, with the primary core focus on fun and the journey itself. Mechs, carriers, exotic ships, base building, terraforming, casual storyline, 60s to 70s sci-fi graphics according to pro artists, if you can get into it. No Man's Sky is definitely worth your time presently. I'm glad I waited to jump into this game until a couple of years ago. Also, not only is it Valve verified for the Steam Deck, but I also personally verified it runs on the Steam Deck. If you are unable to stream Star Citizen or something similar with Shadow or another streaming service on the Steam Deck wherever it is you are, this can get you by. Now, if you have ever enjoyed RimWorld, Dyson Sphere Program, or Dino Park Tycoon back in the day, you should really check out Oxygen Not Included. It's a colony sim, has base building, but with its own unique charm. This game is verified on the Steam Deck. Although Oxygen Not Included doesn't really have as many mods available as RimWorld does. However, at 60% off or $10 US for the base game, you cannot go wrong with this title. I can easily spend 200 hours on a playthrough. $10 more US for the Spaced Out expansion. Maybe I should pick that up and spend a few more hours. Admittedly, I do not own these next two games on the list, but I know they are popular, and I also know that other YouTubers the audience watches have covered both of these games, and I am very familiar with them. First, consider Planet Crafter. To me, I prefer Satisfactory, Astro Colony, Space Engineers, Empyrean, and if you are into those kinds of games and looking for something fresh, you might consider giving this one a go. It is 15% off at $17 US. I think you could get your time out of it. It is listed as playable on the Steam Deck, but not completely verified yet. If someone has tried it, please share how Planet Crafter runs on the Steam Deck in the comments down low. Next up for today is Prey. It has serious sci-fi industrial ops gone wrong vibes, and for $7.50 US, it is the second lowest price that I have ever seen it. Fully Steam Deck verified, this is probably one of the more immersive sim experiences on the list today, and probably a great way to pass the time if you have access to an external power source. This has always been a popular game, and always shows up next to No Man's Sky, Fallout, etc. on my Steam library. So I just wanted to mention it in case you were looking for something a bit different than a builder. And seeing as the games tend to get a bit more popular going forward, let's move a bit faster. Next up, RimWorld. I'm not usually into the top-down games or this style of graphics. However, this game is potentially the best the industry has to offer. It also has some of the best mods I have ever used in a game. It is only 10% off at $31.49 US. It rarely ever goes on sale anyhow, but I think that it's worth the full asking price. And of course, we can't forget about Satisfactory. It is on sale as well. Base building, automation, factories, maths, trains, 40% off at 18 US gets you a whole lot of creative freedom for the price. There is an entire playlist for Satisfactory min-maxing and design here on the channel. Be sure to check it out if you have not seen it yet. Continuing with the S's, Starbound is an older title, but it is close to my heart. If you ever played RimWorld or Terraria and have not tried Starbound, it has fantastic art, a fantastic gameplay progression, in-depth building, and hundreds of maps or planets with resources ready to extract. I would love to load up a new playthrough and rebuild my underwater base that I had before. Now, I don't have this next game, Starship Troopers Terran Command. If anyone watching this video has tried it, let me know if it is worth the $30 asking price. No discount yet, probably due to it being so new. It seems kind of like Dune Spice Wars and Factorio or another wave defense game got smashed together into the Starship Troopers franchise, and I am definitely interested. I honestly have a hard time recommending this next one due to the sheer amount of DLCs available for purchase, but the fact remains that the base package of Stellaris for $10 USD at 75% off currently is a steal. Pair that with the Steam Deck, and you could be in for hundreds of hours for a very reasonable investment. I would definitely recommend using a wireless mouse and keyboard if you plan to play this on the Steam Deck. The menus are quite complex, and once you get into late game, it may be taxing to play for long sessions in handheld mode. Next up, Terraria, one of the few games that I have really got into in modern times in this graphical style. I have spent literally thousands of hours in this game. You can check out my most recent video upload again if you want to catch some glimpses of my Dwarven Undercity project that is 5 years old, and topped with a massive pyramid for the entrance. $5 US will be quickly forgotten if you have never given this fantastic builder a chance. Build like Minecraft, but with actually interesting events and bosses in the vanilla game mode. This game still stays in the top 100 games being played on Steam. Moving on. This next game is basically a perfect fit for the Steam Deck in my opinion, and I cannot wait to try it. I did not pick it up yet. This is the kind of game I will wait for a deeper discount on. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Shredder's Revenge looks so refreshing from an aesthetic perspective. I've been looking to get back into some good old sci-fi beat-em-ups, and for $22.50 USD at 10% off, you get co-op, online multiplayer, split-screen co-op, and some of the best Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles pixel art I have ever seen. Let me know if this game is as good as it looks if you have played it. Alright, are any Satisfactory fans still here? This is the third game on the list today that Coffee Stain has had their hands on, none other than Valheim. 30% off at $14 US, this crafty base building exploration Viking survival game is charming, popular, and has also absorbed a significant portion of my time. If you are interested in seeing what an entire Viking Kingdom island looks like, check out the most recent video that I mentioned a bit earlier. Moving on. V Rising is a newer title that I picked up during the summer sale. 10% off currently at 18 US may not seem like much, but this title is worth the full asking price in my opinion. The few hours that I've been able to play it on the Steam Deck so far have been amazing, almost like if Diablo and Ark had an offspring and named it MMO Lite. I am not usually into the vampire vibe. I am more of a werewolf affinity probably, but the game is really great so far. Build castles, run dedicated servers right after install of the game, LAN PvP, online PvP. This game has captured my attention for sure. I'm just not too sure if it would be appropriate to put it on the channel. In fact, let me know if you would like to see some V Rising guides potentially. V is the 22nd letter in the alphabet, so if I get 22 likes on a V Rising comment down below, I will know that it is a sign. Or, alternatively, 22 individual comments for V Rising. What helps me to stay out of a gaming rut and gain immunity as the title suggested today is to try different games in different scenarios that I usually would not. Lately, I have rediscovered my love for just jumping into a game that looks cool, similar to renting games back in the 80s and 90s. The first time I picked up Halo, for example, it was one of 2 copies left for rent at the local Blockbuster. Recently, in a similar way, the Steam Deck has reinvigorated me. Not only did I finally dive into emulation and cram over 10,000 games onto the Steam Deck, but I am also more inclined now to try games that I have not yet given time to before. By the way, while it's on my mind, if you understand and support the transparency and consistent focus on the channel's mission to bring you the best results and fun for the time that you put in here and in your gaming, do me a favor and boop the like button so that this video can spread to more people. We are well on the way to 2,000 subscribers to this awesome community, but make sure to give me a shout out if you can. I am both humbled and surprised by how fast we continue to grow here. I would love to start seeing more regular faces in the comments. I invite intellectual discussion, and I am curious to know what you think. Are there games that you absolutely recommend, whether it is crafting, industrial, automation, city building, or just popular? What is your absolute instant download when it comes to the Steam Deck? So, see you in the comments. Stay fresh, play how you want, how you can, make something awesome, and stay you.